What is going on, guys? This is Miasin, and we just got some new cards announced in Animation Chronicle, and I will do the exact opposite of what I usually do. So I'll start with the last cards announced, and then I'll climb into the first cards, because I feel like the best cards announced are, the first and second one. These cards right here, not really good, but still. And also, in case you didn't know, Animation Chronicle is kind of like a special set from like anime character decks cards. It has support from a bunch of interesting characters that I think nobody gives two shits about, like Dr. Eisenstein, the guy who normal summoned Mathematician, and I don't even know if it had the same effect. Rudolph Heitman, I'm sure everybody remembers this guy. I have no idea he even existed. Caswell Francis, don't really care about him. And then Trey, nobody cares. Quattro, okay, he's the GOAT, gimmick puppet dude. Quentin, I also don't care. And then Jack Atlas, I don't really care, but Resonator and Red Dragon Archfiend is not too bad. Anyways, before going any further, I would really appreciate you guys if you could smash the like and subscribe button, and also huge shoutouts to my sponsors Inspire TCG as well as Dueling Guard. And they're back at it again with their Kaiju collection this time. They got deck boxes, rubber mats, which I'm a huge fan of, as well as art cards, so check them out. And use the coupon code YASIN666 for 5% off. And again, link will always be in the description box below. And with that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, we've got an alternate artwork for Silent Magician level 8. It's not really relevant. And we've got a few reprints, which means maybe, just maybe, we might be getting some more support for Gimmick Puppet in this set. I don't know, it's a possibility, because in Infinite Forbidden, there's some, again, Animation Chronicle is going to take forever to come to the TCG. It's probably going to be like a few OCG imports and like some core sets. But yeah, no, not too bad. Anyways, the first card is Engraved Soul Fist. Okay, what? No, Soul Fist. I have no idea. Equip spell, equip only to a Dragon Synchro monster. Red Dragon Archfiend equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Not too bad. Once per turn, you can change the attack of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls to the equipped monsters. Yeah, but then Red Dragon Archfiend has like 3k, so they're all going to be super strong. Once per turn, when an attack is declared involving the equipped monster, you can target one monster in your opponent's grave, banish it, and if you do, the equipped monster gains attack equal to the banished monsters until the end of this turn. Yeah, this card sucks. Okay, now we've got Antidote Nurse, rank 3 Light Machine. Yeah, okay, 2+ level 3 monsters. Quick effect, you can detach from neutral from this card, then target one monster whose current attack and or defense is different from its original value. Just like Ragna Zero, its attack and defense becomes its original attack and defense. Then if you targeted a monster you controlled at activation, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn. Yeah, this is really bad. Once per turn, if another monster is special summoned to your field and this card has 3 or more materials, you can make that monster gain 900 attack. Easily one of the worst cards I've read in so long. This could have came out at the very start of the Xyz era, and nobody would care. Nobody would be playing it, so it's a catastrophic card. Okay, now we're getting into the good part. Ancient Gear Statue, level 2 Earth Machine. I want to start things off by giving a huge shoutouts to every single Sprite player. For them, as soon as a monster is level 2, it doesn't matter what its effect is, they're always going to be really happy about it. But yeah, 500 attack, machine dupe target, good one, 800 defense, and it's an inherent summon, and the second effect is hard once per turn. If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, so that's not the Cyber Dragon clause, but rather the Pancratops clause, you can special summon this card from your hand. Not bad. Finally, an Ancient Gear monster that can be special summoned. Jesus. You can tribute this card, special summon one Ancient Gear Golem, or one monster that mentions it except Ancient Gear Statue, from your hand or deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. That is insane. I am pretty sure you can summon the broken level... hold on a second. The weird level 8 guy that searches 2 cards. Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah, actually it does. Actually, oh my god, that's crazy. Alright, so this is a 1-card starter. I am a huge fan. This is actually extremely good. Finally! Yes, and also it's a good card going second. I mean, you just special summon and then you play from there. Yeah, this is fantastic. So, yeah, no, you definitely are trying to play 3 copies of this card in your Ancient Gear deck. Going first and going second, it will add a lot of value to your deck. So I'm like I said, really big fan. But this is where it gets completely crazy. We've got Singularity Fiend, level 1 Dark Fiend, 0 attack, 0 defense. You don't need any more than that. Maybe there might be some Yubel potential synergy. I think the Phantom of Yubel requires any Fiend with 0 attack and 0 defense. Let me double check. Yes, okay, so this can actually be used as a fusion material for it. How convenient. You can only use the effect of this card Z once per turn. It only has one effect. And quite frankly, it only needs one effect. When your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, you can discard this card in one spell. That's the cost. Destroy that monster or monsters. Yes, this is a hand-shop torrential tribute / bottomless, but that doesn't banish. This is kind of correct. Your opponent can pendulum summon 5 monsters, and then you discard this, and then any spell, and you destroy all of them in one shot. It is an easier to use Nibiru in a way for certain decks that might just easily play around Nibiru. Obviously, this can only be used against special summons, but to be fair, other than Flunderies and, I don't know, like some other like obscure decks, who isn't trying to special summon? I think this is one of the best designed hand shops I've ever seen in my life, because the power level of this card is off the charts, but just because it's a hand shop doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to be splashing 3 copies of this card in any deck. If you play this in 10 by Dragon, it doesn't really make too much sense, because you're already playing so many hand shops, so now if you draw a hand of like 4 hand shops in this card, you're emptying your hand at the speed of light, and then you also have to discard a spell, which usually is an engine card. So you really have to be careful about how you want to approach this, and one of the good examples that I had in my mind in order to use this card really well would be by using the new White Woods archetype. Basically, every single time they're sent to the graveyard to activate the effect of a monster, they get to reset them back from the grave to the field. So you can discard this card and then get it back, unless I'm missing something, but I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Or you could play a lot of spell cards that have the graveyard effects, like Metal Fool's Fusion. You can draw this and discard, and it's actually a beneficial thing. In Runic, maybe you might consider playing this card, but not really, because Runic decks usually they don't play too many hand shops. But I mean, if you discard a Runic spell and then you go Fountain and then activate another one, you're getting your money back anyways. So it doesn't really feel like you're negging too much. And I definitely like that. I don't know how relevant its stats and everything really matters. I don't think it changes anything at the end of the day. I don't know if it's like super easy to search or super easy to recycle back, maybe. But I mean, its effect is all that I really need to look at. Again, it's a hand shop. It's a good effect. It can destroy multiple monsters that are being special summoned at the exact same time. It's very difficult to play around, and it's just a good card that you want to play, but at the same time, you can't necessarily play it in tandem with other hand shops because you're going to empty out your hand way too fast, and you're not going to have enough plays. So yeah, you have to be very, like, specific when you play this card. Like, it has to be in certain decks that really just make sense to play this card in. Otherwise, again, it's just not gonna really have too much synergy, and it's gonna make your plays even worse. So yeah, very good card. I do think it will have a very big impact on the game in the long run, just like Nibiru did. This card reminds me a little bit of Nibiru because it can just destroy a bunch of monsters in one shot. Again, in case pendulums ever come back, you already know that this is going to be the ultimate counter in order to beat them. But yeah, you definitely don't want to get hit by Call by the Grave on this card. It would definitely hurt like crazy because you're going neg 2 and then your opponent counters it with one card. But I don't believe anybody will ever want to play this card only as a cross-out target because, you know, at the end of the day, it is a lot of, I mean, it's a lot of commitment, so not everybody can play it. So if you're playing a card that your deck can't really afford to play, it's not really worth it. And again, another thing that I really like a lot is that this card can be used on your own turn in order to destroy monsters that your opponent summoned on your turn. Like, I don't know, your opponent could summon something like a Mirror Jade on your turn and then you can destroy it. Not that it really matters, because one thing that I realized is that this is an optional when effect, meaning that it misses timing. If your opponent summons a monster in Shielding 2 or higher, you cannot use this card. Again, it does matter that it's a when effect. I know for a fact now that Konami is doing this on purpose. They know when they want to create cards that beat the missing timing bullshit, or when they purposely want them to have these kinds of weaknesses. But yeah, keep in mind that you can definitely play around this card if you have the cards to do so. But I mean, if your combo is super linear and you drop this, like, I mean, and if something like this card gets dropped on you, it might hurt a lot. Again, depending on how it really works. You really are trying to use this card against decks that are trying to special summon a bunch of monsters, because if you're going neg 2 in order to just destroy one monster, I don't think it's good enough. Even if it's a good monster, it's just not worth it, because Veiler, Imperm, Ghost Ogre, at this point, you might as well use those cards over that. And again, you don't have to discard specifically a spell. It's a very weird discard cost. It's not like discard any other card. That would have been like way too good. Then people would be playing like Bigfoot and stuff like that with this card. And it would be insane. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts about these cards in the comment section below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.